Hello and welcome back to Jackknives Reviews. I'm of course your host, Jackknives. It's time to look at another thing within the Batman universe, but something a little more on the vintage side. Batman Caped Crusader.
Gotham City has run rampant with corrupt police officers, gang warfare, murderers, and other nefarious villains. It's up to the Caped Crusader, known as the Batman, to stop their nefarious plans and save Gotham City.
To say that there aren't a ton of Batman properties is an understatement. He's probably the most financially viable superhero, and there's been so many interpretations and iterations over the years. The team behind this was Timm, as well as Matt Reeves, so it's kind of interesting to see their take on a 1940s-esque style of Batman, similar in the vein of Darwin Cook's drawings from Batman Blue, or something that's kind of future vintage, so it does give a little bit of Batman the Animated Series vibes, but it has enough of a unique identity, I believe, to stand out on its own. Hamish Linklater is not a name that most people are familiar with, as he plays Batman and Bruce Wayne in this production. I know him as Abraham Lincoln in the series Manhunt. Honestly, he's not bad. He's not quite what I was expecting. I feel that his voice style is a little more in the vein of Reno Romano from The Batman show from WB. And so because of that, I kind of take it with a grain of salt. Each interpretation of Batman is very different, and this is no exception. The style is a little unique, as it seems to be following an Art Deco through the lens of the Golden Age comics, without ever going 100% accurate to the Golden Age comics, because those get pretty dark, even for back then. The design with Batman with the purple gloves, the obvious timeline in which this is supposed to take place, but also seeing enough new elements to make it stand out. Seeing different interpretations of familiar characters, but allowing them to stand out on their own. And I kind of dug that, because it felt vintage in that way, and I kind of liked that experience of that. It was also great to hear familiar voices like Diedrich Baker, John DiMaggio, and Grey Griffin, alongside newer voices like Michelle Bonilla and Jamie Chung. So it had enough variety to kind of appease my voice actor senses, at least for the time being of the show. I loved the well pacing of the story. I thought it was an intriguing way to establish that this is not a similar Batman to other properties, but it's got just enough to feel the through lines of Batman and give it its own sense of identity. Now, I understand it's not going to be for everyone. It's kind of in the same way that there are many iterations of Batman and different properties of animated series and established comic books that may not also be for everyone, and that's okay. I feel that this is a little more on the experimental side. So, you have to take it with a grain of salt. If you enjoyed something like Batman Brave and the Bold, The Batman, and you're willing to give something unique and different a chance, I think this might be the show that you may enjoy. It's got just enough dark grittiness, and yet just enough familiar elements to let it stand on its own and be its own thing, without trying to overshadow anything within the DC animated universe. For that, I would recommend checking it out. I give Batman Caped Crusader 4 out of 5. Have you seen Batman Caped Crusader? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, I'll see you next time.